Hello, this is Blue Star, Defender of Equestria, and this is going to be, hopefully a brief video response. I keep saying that, but it rarely happens, so if this video ends up being really long, I apologize in advance. But anyway, a video response to Bronycurious's video about, well, basically, the showstoppers. But actually, the topic I really want to talk about is obviously the cutie marks, and why I think the cutie mark crusaders are doomed. Because cutie marks are one of the most interesting things that have come out of My Little Pony, but they're also one of the most misunderstood and things that have confused a lot of people. Just like the cutie mark crusaders, they think that the cutie mark represents like your special talent and stuff like that, and it can, but in general it's not. Cutie marks are usually very complicated, but they can also be very simple, like Applejack's is, well, their passion is, you know, their family, apples, and all that stuff, so hers is easy. Rarity's, on the other hand, is much harder, but I'm not going to go into that because I want to keep this brief. A much better example of what I think a cutie mark really is Cheryl's. I hope I got her name right. Because you wouldn't look at hers and think that it's, you know, that this is a cutie mark of a teacher. It's 3 sunflowers with some smiley faces on them. You wouldn't look at this and say, oh, teacher. But she explains it very well, and basically it's that the smiles are the children that she hopes to teach and all that stuff. And you can go back and watch the episode because I must admit I didn't memorize it. But anyway, the point is that, you know, you have to look at it and analyze it a little bit before it makes sense, and doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be something as simple as Applejack's. It's simply not just simply a special talent or your job. I mean, that's the thing that, you know, people think it's either a special talent or it's your job. Well, if that were the case, well, rarities would be like, you know, needle, thread, scissors, stuff like that, but it's not, because, you know, gems are definitely more befitting of her. And again, I don't really want to go into why, because that's, you know, that's a off topic and all that. But yeah, this is why the cutie mark crusaders are doomed to failure, because it's actually stated pretty explicitly in Call of the Cutie that a cutie mark is really representation of the thing that makes that pony special and unique, which often is a special talent, or maybe their job or whatever, but it can be something else. For instance, my cutie mark is not my representation of my talent / job, and I'm not going to give you a long lecture on what I think my cutie mark means. I'll probably make a separate video about that at some point, but I'm going to spare you that for now. But in short, I'm a computer programmer, and you can probably tell that no, my cutie mark is not about computer programming. It's something else. It's more about who and what I think I am, what I want to be, which is honestly Defender of Equestria. And again, I'm going to because this is one thing I will say about my cutie mark. This is why, you know, the sun and the moon symbol, which ironically are, I didn't realize at the time, are really Celestia's and Luna's cutie marks are there, because the idea was that the blue star part is me, and those two cutie marks are behind it, and I'm trying to like defend them and stand for them and stuff like that. So that's all I'm going to say about my cutie mark. Unless you really want me to go in depth on that, which I don't think you do. At least not now anyway. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to do computer programming, it obviously would have been something else. And I have to say that computer programming isn't exactly my passion. It's not who, I mean, there's definitely, if I had to do it over again, there's jobs I'd rather do, but there are definitely jobs I'd rather not do, and then I'm glad that I'm a programmer as opposed to those jobs. But anyway, there's a great line from a movie that probably no one remembers or heard of called Brink, which is one of those Disney Channel original movies that Disney makes sometimes, and it was basically a rollerblading movie, and it was sort of, in short, was really about professional sort of, you know, skate for, you know, money and jobs, and just skating for fun. And the second group basically at one point says, skating is what we do, it's not who we are. And I think that is really what I think really embodies what I think people get confused about the cutie marks. You know, cutie marks are not what you do, it's not your talent, that's not who you are. Cutie marks are about who you are, what makes you special and unique. Because certainly we've seen some pretty unusual cutie marks out there. We've had people like Clovers, 2 dolphins. I want to know what her story is. It's like, we've yet to see an ocean or anything in My Little Pony, so I want to know what her story is. Why does she have 2 dolphins as a cutie mark? Sorry, I'm late to the party. I don't know all the stories and stuff of the background ponies, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, cutie marks are interesting because they're definitely more complicated, and than they appear, but sometimes they can be simple. But this is why the Cutie Mark Crusaders are doomed, probably to failure, because they think that, you know, if we figure out what our big special talent is, if we figure out what it is that we do, what we want to do, then, well, we'll get our Cutie Marks. And for some people, that would work. I mean, in a way, Rainbow Dash, that would have worked for her. Which, again, is ironically why she suggests that, because her Cutie Mark really is about what she does. About, you know, she's a racer, she flies really good, this is something she's really good at and she likes to do, and it's really who and what she is. Because most likely she will go on to be one of the greatest flyers in Equestria. But that's not the case for the other Cutie Mark Crusaders. That obviously, I must admit I haven't given too much thought as to what their Cutie Marks would be, but obviously, as we've seen in this episode, they're kind of hinting at what most likely they will be. That, you know, they're sort of hinting at what their talents are, but they're too basically close as to see that these are really their talents. So yes, I do agree with you, Bronycurious, that, you know, for someone on the outside, it's really easy to say, well, look how good you are, and it's also a humility thing as well. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not really that good at this. It's like, I think I remember hearing someone say, I don't remember who it was, but saying that, you know, the most talented people often aren't the ones who succeed, because they've always been good at whatever it is they've done, so they don't look at it as being a big special talent. I mean, if you've sung really well from the time you were 6, you wouldn't think of it as a big deal. It's like, well, this is just how I sing, you know? And that might be part of the Cutie Marks problem. I think at some point the Cutie Mark Crusaders are going to get their Cutie Marks, but I have a feeling they're going to hold out on that for a long time, because obviously once they do, well, they've obviously lost a big major plot point there. I mean, you could argue that, well, once they get it, they'll obviously move on to something else, but this is clearly the most important thing for them at this stage. And of course, why shouldn't it be? Getting your Cutie Mark is obviously the most important thing when at this point. And I have to say, that's why the Cutie Marks are so cool, because there's something that's yours, that doesn't belong to anyone else. I mean, most likely there are probably, I mean, it's probably not like snowflakes, you know, no two are exactly alike. Or actually, maybe they are like that, that maybe even if someone has, you know, like, you know, another Clover Cutie Mark, that maybe your Clover Cutie Mark will be slightly different, and that's probably true. But yeah, I mean, they're probably, with the exceptions of like Twilight and, you know, things of that nature, that in general, there probably are multiple repeats of Cutie Marks. But even still, that Cutie Mark is yours, because, you know, that is who and what you are, and that's just so cool, and, you know, that's just so cool. I mean, that's such a cool concept of having the symbol of who and what you are. That's awesome. I love that. I remember one time I was doing a pony hypnosis, something I got up from DigiBrony, and the second one that someone did was Twilight, and they started to describe the her Cutie Mark, and it's like, no, I reject this. Like, no, I would not want Twilight's Cutie Mark. I only want mine, because my Cutie Mark means so much to me. I mean, to some bronies, the Cutie Mark is just something they had to put on the side of their OC, but to me it actually means quite a bit to me. But that's why I love Cutie Marks, because they're such a cool idea of having something that's yours and unique, that makes you, this is something this is what makes you and you special, and make it different from everybody else. And this is why I feel sad for the Cutie Mark Crusaders, because they're probably not going to discover this for a very long time. Dear, oh dear. Oh, well, they are just children, but they'll grow, they'll learn. I mean, I'm sure they'll get their Cutie Marks eventually. And unfortunately, as I predicted, this video has been anything but short. So I think I've said everything I want to say, so I think I'm going to stop. That is the end of my video response, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you do good work, Bronycurious. Keep it up. This is BlueStar. Stay strong and pony on. BlueStar out.